You might remember that thing I did where like natural disaster was explained in 5 minutes. You remember that? This is a sequel to it, but this time not about natural disasters, but about how the Electoral College works. But first of all, what is the Electoral College? It's not a college. I mean, that makes sense because it's the Electoral College, and electoral means having to do with elections, which means voting. But what is the Electoral College? It's a thing. I mean, it's actually a process according to the United States Archives. It's a process where where each state has electoral votes, and I'm going to go into 270towin.com, which will allow me to simulate okay, my mouse is going so fast. No, I don't want to go to that. 270 to win. Which allows me to simulate an electoral college election. It's going even faster now. I'm trying to lower it. Okay. Anyways, basically, the state has electoral vote, and they use the electoral votes. They use the electoral votes to cast the. So each state has electoral votes, and there's people called electors that cast votes by the citizens. The citizens don't elect the president. They demand, I guess, the electors to vote for president. But what do the electors even do? Well, the electors they elect a candidate. But yeah, they elect a candidate. But it's not each person that gets a vote, each state gets a vote. Which is why the Electoral College is a terrible thing that should have never been created. But the Cleavish Electoral College is a little bit better, but I'm a bit biased because I created it. Anyways, I'm going to talk about the Cleavish Electoral College in another video. So basically, they cast the votes for president, and whichever state gets a majority, even if it's a very slim majority, the candidate gets all of the state's electoral votes. This is the Electoral College. So I promised I was gonna simulate an Electoral College election. So I'm gonna do it here. So blank map. All Democratic. That's good. So I forgot to mention about the parties. There's the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the Libertarian Party, the Communist Party, the Socialist Party, the Green Party, the Reform Party, the Natural Law Party. Did I mention the Reform Party? Yes, I did. The World Workers Party, the Party for Socialism and Liberation. There's just so many parties, but the two main ones are the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and actually most people call it the Democrat Party, and even their official website is democrats.org. But they are officially called the Democratic Party. Like if you go our party, the Democratic Party. Fun fact: the Democratic Party the headquarters of the Democratic Party was the Watergate complex, which something happened to it. In the Watergate scandal, and I have a book about Richard Nixon at school, so you might, and basically, Richard Nixon resigned his presidency due to the Watergate scandal. But let's say, me won versus, yes, I'm inspecting elements. People in my school call it hacking. It is not hacking. It is literally just inspecting elements. So now let's say that, I win, North Dakota. Dakota's my home state. Wisconsin. This isn't. This a swing state? Okay, it's independent for now. I win my state. Now Florida is also a swing state. By the way, by a swing state, I mean a state where in an election, either party can win the state. This is completely random. I'm gonna be blue. I think usually Texas is a safe Republican state, but I mean I'm just gonna do this random. I don't know. I'd say I win Nebraska, Kansas, but I lose Oklahoma, Arkansas. I'm just coming up with random. I'm gonna tell you all the entire Confederate States of America is all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, get rid of this and remove Oklahoma. So the entire Confederate States of America is, I'm going to say, safe Republican. Let's say I would win Minnesota, and then somehow out of a miracle I win Wisconsin, and then they win Florida. So it looks like the Republican candidate is going to win. But what about Washington? I'm gonna win Washington, maybe win this, win Oregon, maybe win basically the entire West Coast. But Colorado and Wyoming I think Colorado is a swing state, so I'm gonna put that later. And Wyoming's gonna win the Republicans. And now this election, I'm going to win this election, maybe. But actually, I'm going to, instead of having an independent there, I'm going to have it solid red, but, split it. Wait. Bahrain, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Wait, actually no. But let's say Nebraska, I won. Say that the Republicans won a bit. Say the Republicans won a minority. And let's say that I won Maine. Let's say I won all these states. So I would. And by the way, in any electoral college election, the president-elect, as it's called, as presidents get inaugurated or become president on January 20th. After election day, they become the president-elect. The president-elect needs a minimum of 270 electoral votes. And there's 538 electoral votes. Why? Because that is the amount of congressmen in the nation. As there's 100 senators and 438 representatives. I might make a video about Congress later on, but this is a video about the Electoral College. So no, this is actually in 10 minutes or less. You have the Massachusetts. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be fair and say half of these. I'm gonna say half of these are safe Republicans, and the other are safe Democrats. I'm going to say this is just Republican. So now I know that's obviously Democrat because it's in the North. So now we have 263 versus 197. It looks like the Democratic Party is going to win. Speaking of the Democratic Party, here's a fun thing. Where I have a bunch of HTML files that I like to play around with. Homepage.html here. And if I click on this, it takes me to this. Please click yes to confirm you're a Democrat. This is terrible. I think it should have never been created by me. And this takes you to Democrats.org. Okay, that picture looks creepy. Anyway, let's go back to this. The Ohio, that's a swing state, so I'm gonna say it's blue. I'm gonna say this is solid red. Red. So it looks like I have won this selection, except for these. I think Alaska is a solid red state. I think it's a solid Republican, and Hawaii is a solid Democrat. So I won this election. I have 316 to choose 22. I just redeemed the blank once. We solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States, and will, to the best of my ability, reserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So, I mean, I'm president now. I just was elected and just swore the oath. Tajikistan, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan. This is actually how the election worked out. This is how the real election worked out. Is this literally how the real election worked out? If that's actually how the real election will work out, this is weird. Is recent map. Okay. Now this is how it works. So, all Democratic. There, I won. Nobody voted against me. Okay, this turned from an educational video into a comedic video. I might make a series on how the U.S. government works. I might do a Congress video later. I don't mean a video for Congress, but a video about Congress. And maybe a video about how the Supreme Court works. Okay, by the way, I might make a video about how the cleavage government works too, because I mean it's cool. It has kind of weird government. I have its constitution over here for some reason. And goodbye.